Good morning, all empathic sensitive souls. It is Wednesday. I don't know if it's a happy Wednesday. I'm not quite focused on the happy part yet. On Monday, I drew the card Ghostlands. And it's telling us that, well, we long for the nostalgia of the past, we can't live there. And we can dream of the future, but we can't live there. We have to focus on the here and now and focus on the steps we're taking to become that future we're dreaming of. And this week has been really hard for me. And I don't know if it's the change in weather because we got a huge storm coming. And it always takes me back to the winter days I spent with my family. We had a dairy farm and we had a wood stove and there were animals. And just the during the winter, we all come together and hunker down around a big pot of stew or spaghetti or whatever mom would make. And it was always, the hot, stick to your ribs kind of food. And yes, we had to work hard, but there was also time to play. We had sleds, we had toboggans. We used to have those round sleds. I don't know, discs, but ours were metal. That's how long ago this was. They don't make the metal anymore. We also lived where it was rather rocky, so the metal worked pretty good because it didn't crack like the plastic sleds do nowadays. But I hearken back to those times. And I got thinking last night and this morning that it is the nostalgia of less stress. Not that we weren't, because as a farmer, you're always stressed about what's going to happen. It's always the what if? What if we don't get rain? What if all that stuff? The animals. What if something happens to an animal? The calves. It's during this early springtime, during the coldest, snowiest is when the cows seem to have their calves. And there's always worry. And that's just a daily basis. But it was you had a group around you that worked towards a common goal. The responsibility was not spread to only one, it was spread across many. Yes, you had your duties or your jobs to do, but there was also a helping hand if it was too much or overwhelming or you couldn't get to, or whatever the case may be. And now it is, I shoulder all my responsibility. There's no one to help. And I think I harken back to the time where life was a little simpler. There wasn't as many life stressors. So now I have to pull my head out of the past, think about and dream what my future can look like, pull my head back out of the future and come to the here and now. What steps can I take to create that now? To create the calm, to create the less anxiety around the responsibilities, to create the future that I envision, to take the current steps, to take the steps, to actually take the necessary steps to get to where I want to go. Instead of just dreaming about it and it's out there in the future and I can see it, but I'm not doing anything, I'm not taking any steps to get there. So that's what I've been working on this week. How have you guys been? What have you guys been working on? Are you still in nostalgia? Are you in the current here and now? Are you daydreaming about the future? There's nothing wrong with nostalgia and there's nothing wrong with daydreaming. It's just when we get stuck in there. Because a lot of times it can be very overwhelming for me to think about the past and times lost or not able to access anymore. And it can be overwhelming because I miss the family. I miss that camaraderie. I miss the BSing around the wood stove and the laughter and the giggles and the playing of the games. And yes, it was hard work, but again, we all came together. And then I get very melancholy. And I can't live there. I have to pull my head into the here and now and say, okay, that was then. How can I recreate some of those same feelings for me here in the now? That's what I'm working on. At work, there's not really a lot of nostalgia. Maybe the only nostalgia I have for work is that when people were actually cheerful and friendly and, dare I say, would smile and be happy, and there's a little camaraderie, and there wasn't a lot, but it was so much more than what it currently is. And that's a sad state of affairs, and it seems to be happening not just where I work but where a lot of places work. I think people are in such an overwhelm right now that they have a tendency to shut down or to zone out or to burst out, and it's rather stressful. I try to keep to myself, my coworker and I, and we keep propping each other up to keep going. One more day, just one more day, one more day. The weekend's almost here. The weekend's almost here. That's our future. The weekend's almost here. So we live in the here and now by accomplishing our work and getting our work done as it needs to get done. Now, today, in the future, we are having a monster snowstorm come through. I am not looking forward to that because I know it's going to be a beast trying to drive home, trying to get into my garage, and then I'm just going to hunker down. Thursday is going to be unburying my garage so I can get out and get to work in the morning. So Thursday is going to be a busy day too. Am I worried about it? It is what it is. It's winter, it's Wisconsin. This stuff happens. We haven't had a huge snowstorm or a large quantity of snow this whole winter season. So it will be a nice change of pace. I have to put a positive spin or otherwise I get really about it. But that's okay. We need the moisture. I'll look at it with the silver lining. We need the moisture. The more moisture we get, the better. I wish the moisture would come in the spring and rain and not all the time so the farmers can get in the fields, but we'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday, that your week is going great. 2 more days till the weekend. This weekend, it's Valentine's Day. I cannot believe it's already the middle of February. I don't know where the time goes. It just seems to zoom. But then at work, it seems to not zoom. It's crazy, isn't it? I swear the clock slows down while I'm at work. But then once I'm out of work, like weekends, they go by so fast. I need another day. I swear we need a day between Saturday and Sunday just to regroup. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I will check back Friday to see how everybody's week went. Bye for now, everyone.